Hey Xavier, I just wanted to ask, man, about Jakari Brown and how much development you've seen from him over the course of the season.
Oh, Jakari is a special guy, man. He has his unique talents. Just like Jake, Jake has an arm to him, and whoever's back there, we feel super confident.
Next, we'll go to Adam Lichtenstein from the Sun Sentinel. Adam.
Hey Xavier, yeah, that was basically a similar question to mine, but similar, about Jake. How have you guys kind of tried to maybe help pick him up? How's he been doing? Because he's had a few turnovers the last time he's gotten on the field.
But we all still believe in Jake. But like I said, whoever's back there at quarterback, we have full belief in them, and we're gonna go balls to the wall for them. Whoever's back there.
Our next question for X will come from Manny Navarro from The Athletic. Manny.
Hey, X, one criticism of this offense, I know you guys aren't scoring as much as you want, but one criticism is that maybe it's not as diverse as it needs to be. In other words, it's not, creative enough, et cetera. How do you feel about that running in this offense? Will just told me that, this playbook is thicker than the one that you guys played with when Rhett Lashley was coordinator.
I think that Coach Gaddis has an amazing game plan every single week. We just got to do better as players. Executing our small details. And sometimes it just comes down to, one guy just not doing the right technique. It's not even about him like missing a whole entire, his whole entire job, but it's just one small technique could throw off the whole entire play. And you need all 11 guys on offense to execute at a high level.
Our next question comes from Frank Tucker of Canes Country. Frank.
Hey, X, what do you think the biggest difference between the offense last year and this year is? It's the personnel is not that different, and there's been a lot of guys that were supposed to be impact guys last year that have gotten older, developed more, like you, Jacoby. Colby's now added to the offense. What's the biggest difference, and why is there not that production that there was last season?
It just comes down to execution. Last year we were executing better. And last year was the second year that we were in that offense, But, yeah, it just comes down to executing. That's all I got to say.
We'll go back to Adam Lichtenstein from the Sun Sentinel. Adam.
Hey again. So we were asking Will a few minutes ago about, what a bowl game means to you guys. What does it mean just first in terms of, to get there, you would have had to finish the year strongly. And then how important are those bowl practices that you guys get?
They're all good, especially for the younger guys, developing and stuff like that. But most importantly, we just got to be 1-0 this week, just focus on this week, Georgia Tech. And, they got some great guys on that defense. They bring tons of pressure, big physical corners, secondary. So we just got to, again, execute.
We'll do the last few questions for X. We'll go back to Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan.
Hi, X. I noticed that Bryce's number is still on that roster. And I'm sure you do too. Do you still keep in touch with the family, or how does that make you feel? How nice is that?
Oh yeah, for sure. The quote, gone but not forgotten. He'll always be in, my mind every time I step on the field. Even in practice, I'll say a little prayer, just asking that he watches over me. But yeah, this week is definitely going to be an emotional one. Every single time we play Georgia Tech has been emotional at the beginning of the game for me because, I know I'm supposed to have my brother out on the field with me. But, yeah, I'm glad that his name is still on our roster. It means a lot. But, yeah, this one's definitely going to be one for him.
We'll wrap up for X with Daryl Streeter from Footballville. Daryl?
Yeah, what's going on? If you don't mind, how did you utilize your time off? Did you take it to learn a new hobby or do so many things? Talk to us about your time off, man, and what you did. What did you do when you had time off?
The time off from my injury?
Yeah, from your injury, yeah.
I just dove down into the X's and O's more, just studying defenses, looking at tendencies that all different types of teams do, especially for the games that are up and coming, I just studied them and just helped my teammates out, with techniques and stuff like that. And, just working on my leadership, my faith in God, and just went day by day.
Hey, Will. I think Coach Cristobal said yesterday afternoon that, he'd see how you guys have responded to Saturday, in practice, the last 2 days. How have you seen the team? How you guys have responded, since that game?
Yeah, it was obviously very, very tough, very disappointing. So obviously people are, upset about it and using that as, fuel of like, hey, we can't do that. We can't allow that. We have to be better. So, it is serious around here and guys are taking that very, very seriously into heart. And seeing that's unacceptable and we have to improve and they're taking that to practice. So, the best thing we can do is use that and finish strong and get better as a team and finish this year off, on a good note.
Our next question for Will comes from Susan Miller-Degnan of the Miami Herald. Susan.
Hey, Will. The bowl games. I mean, you're an older guy. How important are they for developing or excuse me, what Coach Cristobal would call a rebuilding program? What can you guys get out of them? And are they just a nice reward? How important is this bowl thing going on?
Yeah, it's huge. Obviously, we're taking it one game at a time, not looking too far into the future. We just got to take it week by week. But, season's not going the way we want it to. But to be able to finish strong and make it to a bowl game and win one would mean a lot, especially for a lot of the older guys. And myself included, I think that'd be something really special just because, I haven't done that since I've been here. And that's something that I would really like to do. And a lot of the older guys and, would want to do. And besides that, but it's good momentum for the team moving forward with, going into the off season program. And if you finishing the season on a high note and making it into a bowl game is huge and important. So, it's a really big deal. But like I said, we're taking it week by week and, that doesn't happen if we got to win this weekend and we got to focus on that. So take care of business then.
Our next question for Will comes from Luke Cheney from All Hurricanes. Luke.
Hey, Will, what are some things about Georgia Tech's defense that really stands out on film to you?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at film is very evident that they've got physical guys up on the D line, big guys, and then sticks out too is their linebackers, athletic, strong guys and move really well. And they're, chasing the ball sideline to sideline. So secondary, same, they got good players out there. So it's a good defense and it's something that we really, really have to prepare for and do a good job because they do a lot of good things. So we got to focus on ourselves, improve this week, trust the game plan, and go out and we got to execute most importantly because it's a talented group they got up there.
Our next question for Will comes from Matt Sherdell, Kane Sport. Matt.
Yeah, hey, Will. Obviously, I know you guys practice really hard. And obviously, for some reason, it's not like translating onto the field all the time. You're an older guy. Can you put your finger on like where that disconnect is, sort of what's causing it?
I think everything we do around here, is 100%. We practice hard. We study hard. We lift. We work out hard. I think it comes down to execution. Things, we're just not connecting, not doing what we are doing here at practice, and because we're putting in the work, and it's every single week we go in feeling really good about the game plan, about what we did, and we just got to translate that into on Saturdays, and we got a lot of guys banged up and young guys filling the roles, and we got, as a older player, leaders of the team, we've got to do a good job of making sure everyone's comfortable and bringing us together. Keep doing this. We got to keep staying together through tough times, but we always hear us saying is we just got to keep working. So that's all we can do. We got to keep working hard this week, and we really got to translate that on Saturday onto the field.
Next, we'll go to Manny Navarro from The Athletic. Manny.
Hey, Will, I remember when Coach Lashley was here, I asked you, how thick is the playbook? And I remember you made it seem like real thin. I'm curious with Coach Gaddis, is it a much more complicated offense? And how much do you think maybe that it's a little bit more diverse affects, maybe how easy it is for you guys to pick up your responsibilities? In other words, are there more mistakes maybe because it's not as simplified?
It's a different offense for sure, but I think they do a great job of simplifying it and making it as, easy to understand for players. It is different. It's not a thin playbook. There's a lot of options, and which is great. But I love the offense. What Coach Gaddis does is great. I love it. So it's but it's different than what we've done before. But I think it's what the coaches do. They do a great job of making it easy for us to understand. I don't think it's anything difficult at all.
We'll go back to Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan?
Hey again, Will. I think Gaddis said yesterday that Georgia Tech likes to blitz a lot. How important is it for you guys to help your young quarterbacks this week? Pick up the blitzes, protect whoever it is as quarterback.
Yeah, that's big. You want to make the quarterback, especially if it's a young guy, feel comfortable back there. So that's what we have to do a good job of that. Pick those blitz up, and the pressures that they bring, we've got to do a good job. So he's got that confidence, and we will. And I know they'll have the confidence because we trust these guys, and it'll be good. But it's a good challenge. We've seen defenses similar to this before in the season, so it's nothing too crazy that we haven't seen before.
We'll wrap up for Will with Adam Lichtenstein from the Sun Sentinel. Adam?
Hey again. Similar to Susan's earlier question about bowl games, obviously, the game itself is a nice reward, but how crucial are those bowl practices? I don't know if it's 10 or 15. How crucial are those, especially for the younger players?
Yeah, it's huge. Younger guys who, get that opportunity to get more, valuable reps and even, playing time in the game. Moving forward, it's great for the program because, you kind of get to show what you have, either whether that's more reps in practice or in the game itself. But, for the program moving forward, it's really important. As a young guy myself, those were important times for me as a freshman or sophomore or junior, whatever. Those are important reps that that you need. So no, I think it's huge, and if we need to get that opportunity because it's great for the team.
Hey, Will, specifically with Jaleel Skinner, can you talk about his progress that you've seen throughout the year, just what you've seen from him?
Yeah, Jaleel's done a great job, of taking coaching, he's matured a lot since he first got here, and he's a great guy, great player, great competitor. So we're lucky to have him, and just to keep seeing him grow, it has been awesome. And his time's coming, so I'm really excited for him, and he's going to continue to keep helping us.
Hey John, so I know you guys, on the offensive line, a lot of injuries right now, not a lot of depth. How have you guys been handling that, in practice, trying to, just try to stay healthy, as you guys go into the home stretch of the season?
We've been handling it well. We're doing the next man up mentality. So, you seen Justin went down earlier in the year. And look, we had guys step in. There's Cooper, and he's shining right now. So, we got guys that could play. In our 3 deep. So, we just trust those guys, and whoever's next to me or next to anybody in the line, we feel comfortable with.
Our next question comes from Susan Miller-Degnan of the Miami Herald. Susan?
Hey, John. What was it like when Jalen went out? How does that change kind of the complexion of the game for you? Because I know how good he is, and then your responsibility in helping, I guess, Lawrence, right?
It doesn't really affect me as much. I played next to a ton of different guys throughout the season, practice, camp. So, I'm familiar with all the people next to me, and I'm comfortable with anybody. And, it's really bad we lost Jalen in the game, but, it's next man up. So whoever I'm next with, we going to ride.
Our next question comes from Matt Sherdell. Our next question comes from Matt Sherdell from Kane Sport. Matt?
Geez, Josh, not letting anyone follow up, huh? Tough. Well, I will ask my question. I will not follow up. So my question, John, is you guys have decent stats, I guess, running the ball, 131 yards per game on the ground, 3.7 yards per carry. It's not bad. Do you feel like you guys are living up to your potential as a run blocking offensive line? And if so, why? And if not, why not?
I mean, to me, I feel like I don't think anybody is living up to their potential because I think you could just get better and better each and every week. So, I mean, our thing is just to improve. I mean, we're not worried about the stats or anything. We just worrying about just opening up, protecting, and doing our job and just helping out the team. That's our job, the front five.
We'll go back to Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan?
Oh, thanks, Josh. John, as far as a bowl goes, I know you're one of the older guys, but how important is that for a program, a developing program? And, how key is that with the few games you have left and trying to qualify?
I mean, having a bowl game is good. It's really good just to get extra reps. Even for the developmental guys, just getting extra reps with them on scout team. I mean, say we have people injured, they just get bigger roles, get out there and see what they can do. So I mean, a bowl game is good to have. So I mean, we're working towards that, and we'll just see what happens in the future.
And Josh, if there's not a lot of other hands up after Adam, can I have one more?
Absolutely. We'll go back to Adam Lichtenstein from the Sun Sentinel. Adam.
Hey again. So obviously, Saturday didn't go the way, you guys would have liked. Georgia Tech, on the other hand, they had a big comeback win. How do you guys make sure you're up for that game? You guys don't get, too dispirited, I guess.
I mean, last game is over with. I mean, it was Saturday. I mean, we're on Tuesday now, so we've already been game planning for GT Sunday. They're a good bunch of they're a good talented group. So I mean, we're not worrying about the past. We got to strap up and get ready for the next week because they don't care that we lost. They're not worried about that. They trying to punch us in the mouth. So we got to get ready to get right.
And speaking of, Coach Gaddis said yesterday that they blitz a lot. How are you guys preparing for that?
I mean, we just gonna go through our same preparation we do each and every week. Coach Mirabal gonna have us prepared. I mean, I feel like I'm super prepared with him as a coach. I feel like he's one of the greatest offensive line coaches in the game in college football. He has a lot of respect around the country. So, I mean, we're gonna be prepared with Coach.
Our last question for John comes from Susan Miller-Degnan of the Miami Herald. Susan?
Hello again, John. How do you guys turn off the noise? I mean, Coach Cristobal was talking about that maybe it's easier for the coaches with your cell phones and social media these days. And after some of the losses, how do you block it out, or do you? How hard is it?
I mean, it's not really that hard. Just don't worry about it. I mean, at the end of the day, we're the people on the field, and people can say anything about you. It's just, just don't worry about that. I mean, you're just not supposed to worry about what people say. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter about the last week. It matters about the next day. And that's what this team is. That's what we're going to do. And we're just worrying about Georgia Tech, and we're going to come out and give them a run for their money.